Vamos lá, galera. Vamos seguir aqui com as tarefinhas aqui do nosso detetive. Executa a autópsia de campo. Vamos lá, qual autópsia?
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion. By autopsy, the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tenente ajusta o óculos e respira fundo. Primeiro, que exatamente a autópsia conta em algo. Tente remover as botas.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes? That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
Vamos lá incluir aqui algo pra gente melhorar nossa investigação. Lógica. Manipulador do intelecto bruto. Todo mundo. Interessante. Interpreta o ator. Minta. Mantenha-se composto. Mantenha a moral elevada. Entenda os outros. Trabalhe os seus neurônios refletores. Que é empatia. Tô falando empatia e o negócio escrito aqui. Empatia. Intimide o público. Imponha-se. Corexe a delegacia e ter a cultura. Olá, tá entre eles. E a lógica. O importante é o que vai servir para mim agora. Mas pronto, mire a ti. Mas rápido em reagir. Esgueire-se debaixo de nariz. Direite suas costas, mantenha a expressão. Vamos lá. Mantenha a moral elevada, empatia. Achei interessante esse. Acima dele, formulário de que precisa ser preenchido.
That's you.
Esse é o do DOAR.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
Este é a forense, não?
KK57-0803.0 0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57
Kitsuragi.
equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival.
Caso para ele, não para
0815.
você, não
On the
deveria
scene,
arquivar.
he's indexed the case after himself, not you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
Como ficaria o código alfanumérico? Não tenho ideia.
I do. KK57.
Tá.
That next.
Nome.
NA. Next. NA.
Idade.
Roughly 50.
Aproximadamente 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Mondial.
Yao.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Esse branco.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
Evidência de interferência. Acho que é após a morte, né? Polividez, ponta. Certeza, pegadas não denotam que ele foi carregado até aqui. Interferência.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations.
We should start the post-mortem.
Postmortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Exame externo, interno. Nice. Exame externo.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored
Roupas.
boots and white briefs. The make of the
Roupas
briefs is
blindadas e
with,
cueca branca.
let's see.
Acho que a marca da cueca é Babro. Ele virou o corpo de lado para verificar a etiqueta.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
Barata
Size
amanhã,
M.
branco.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white.
Ah,
The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark. It's no use. We should get chain cutters. You can try with them. I have a pair in the toolbox of my kinema. Damn corpse. We had a good rhythm going.
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The 1st Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into fire for you. sir. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. Here we go. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
Trinta. Lá pegar o alicate. Portas e tampas, ó.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
Slap, slap.
You can do good work with these. The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Temos o alicate.
Cut with as much precision as you can, please.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! It's gonna happen, see!
Cara, são
Knew it!
pivetes, são uns bostos.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish, Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a real museum here, of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo di Cappadocia? Nothing does. This was pleasurable. I sincerely thank you for touching my hand. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
Lascou. Porra, tô perdendo vida.
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, Na.
Hepatobiliar.
Ah, are you a hepatobiliary expert? Same for toxicology and serology, Na. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and
Marcação
chest,
de
and a ligature
mordida,
mark
contusão em
encircling the
cabeça e
neck.
peito, a marca de
You'll need 3
enforcamento em
fields.
todo o pescoço, vai
Leave a
precisar
4th
de
one,
3
please.
campos.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Cada
Head,
mordida.
chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Lesão fatal. Se parecer. Peraí. Lesões por mordidas na cabeça, peito e escalpo. Predação de pássaros. Causou dano ao corpo. A odontologia não precisa ser consultada. Parecer.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusões.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Contusões. Sangue coagulado, scalp dele, pedras acertaram. Pós-mortem.
Right. Next.
Marca de enforcamento.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
Vamos lá, Delta lida. Enforcamento pra ver. Foi. O que matou foi pós-mortem. Marca enforcamento. Vão no osso e nó está fraturado. É o que faz matar. Mariana pé acima debaixo da marca de enforcamento. Tá. Profundidade. Baixa as notas da caixa de comer. Esperam ser trincada a cabeça. Que matou, né?
That's
Será?
it. We
É
have
isso aí.
established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg. For processing.
Para processamento e olhar para o defunto. Então para as folhas vermelhas na mão dele. Então para o corpo
You
novamente.
tilt your head, also looking at the
Era
corpse.
para o corpo.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Okay. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of the rest.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. You will never own the full set now. May they rest in processing. Oh well, in another lifetime.
Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your own business. I will meet you downstairs in the Whirling in Rags tomorrow morning, 7:30 sharp.